Hey, what's going on, world? I love you. Pew, 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 pew. Sending out some heart rays to you. Pew, 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 pew. I'm Dank Fart, the pirate poet. Fart is spelled P-H-A-R-T, is an acronym for pretty hot and reasonably talented. Today I'm going to be sharing some of my ideas and thoughts around business with a focus on profit and how I think profit needs to be expanded as a poet that's sensitive to language and also understanding whole systems, within the body as a whole system. We've got the heart and all of these things and all of these different organs. They all need to work together and cross-communicate in order to have myself be a fully functioning, healthy being. And so we need to expand profit to mean more than just capital gains. This is already starting to happen and has been for probably about 15 years or more, probably closer to almost 20 years, but with triple bottom line accounting and accounting framework that takes into account people, profit, and planet, and so that you have to create a harmony between all three of those in order to be considered actualizing and being successful in your service as a business. And for me as a poet, what I've always how I've seen it is to expand the word profit, the definition of itself, to not just mean capital gains, but to include social, cultural, ecological, and capital gains, all within that word profit, and expanding the word profit. And an example of cultural capital is creativity and diverse arts and the ability to have artists get their voice out into the world and get their voice met through, or get their needs met through sharing their gift with the world, and then practicing their gifts and being in the world in a way that should create reciprocity and create your value and your needs. This world needs artists. It's not just about entertainment, it's about deep introspection within yourself and your being, and that is what art is all about. Yes, it's good to be entertained, but art is not just pure entertainment. It's deeper than that. And so Boulder is a prime example of all of that. It is a place that has always been known for a thriving creative art scene that has a lot of artists of many different mediums putting their work out there. Allen Ginsberg founded, and Anne Waldman founded, Naropa University's Jack Kerouac School of Disembodied Poetics, a poetry program at Naropa University that is an undergrad and an MFA program. And so it has a lot of deep roots in creativity and culture. And that is what has drawn a lot of the other industries through now Google and startups and a lot of just businesses that have come here, and because they want to be a part of the thriving culture and the art that is happening here in Boulder. But as these other organizations start moving in, all of a sudden the cost of living is increasing more and more and more and more. And it's not that it has to be that way, it's because the people that are owning all of the real estate are more interested in maximizing their profit because they can, and so it's just a supply and demand issue, and they just jack up the prices because that's what they feel, that's the current way of doing business. But it is not, it is a negative impact upon the ability for artists to live in a way that is not having to sacrifice by working an excessive amount of time and energy, when we should be creating and cultivating a community that supports the ability for artists to be in ways that they can fully practice their art and go out and live in the world and sharing their gifts with that bring back reciprocity and get their needs met. And it's not that you can just be doing your art. There's lots of different ways to be living in a diverse community and having different diverse ways of getting your needs met. There's nothing wrong with working for a minimum wage job, but minimum wage jobs don't pay enough to actually support you. And if they were, if you were able to work like 30 hours a week and have your needs met, but then still have that little bit of time to do your art and your craft. It would be a world that would start to work. And how do we can mold this and arrange structures in a way that can support the large numbers of people that have things to share and want to do in the world and be within it. And if I were running a real estate company, I would figure out how to balance, or it would attempt to figure out how to balance the ability to create the most abundance for my business, while at the same time observing the rest of the community and the levels and everything, how it's impacting the rest of it. Because to have myself being extremely wealthy while all of the culture and everything gets choked out, all of a sudden all of the businesses are no longer mom and pop shops or local businesses. They are all corporate infrastructure, and they're all just in the same chains. You're not getting a good diversity of food to enjoy, and diversity of experience, diversity of art, and diversity of viewpoints. It strangles the ability for all of that to thrive. And all of a sudden, the reason why all of these businesses and organizations moved here because they wanted to be a part of this really potent mix of all of this creativity and things happening and exploration and philosophy, it's not able to actually exist. And so the whole reason that brought them here, all of a sudden it's no longer there. And so now they're just like a walled community that's bland and has no actual life to it. It's just a empty machine that's just functioning just to spread money around. And it feels in my looking at it, it's very parasitic. It's taking as much out of the community as possible without putting back in. And that is just the current way our system is designed, and we need to redesign it in a way that supports all of the system and all the levels of the system, from the small person that's just doing whatever menial job, even just a janitor. There's nothing wrong with being a janitor, but you should be able to get your needs met and thrive while being a janitor. There's all of these jobs in the world that are a large majority of the jobs in this world that are not designed to actually empower the people that are doing these jobs. If these jobs were not seriously causing harm or risk to you, we should be able to thrive in doing these jobs. And when these people are making billions of dollars but not willing to support a level of reciprocity to their employees that make it so that they can thrive, there's something very, very wrong with this system, and it needs to be reorganized. And I think we need to look at what profit means, and capital gains at the expense of everything else is not going to lead towards a healthy planet. And that is at the source of where our current issues with the global and ecological disaster and all of our issues reside back at that root. How can we change that root? How can we use the systems that we have now? We have amazing infrastructure possibilities. We have the resources, but we need to redesign it at the roots and just change the philosophy around it and be mission-based businesses of service. And the service is not to make the most money and maximize your profits. It's to serve the world in a healthy way that provides abundance and health at all levels of the system. And if you can create a business that does all of that and make $1 billion, go for it. More power to you. But we cannot be making excessive capital gains at the expense of everything else in the system. We have to transform it. And yeah, we can do it. Let's find our heart's humanity. Let's find our kindness. Let's build a world that sustains us. We can do it. Thank you so much for being here. I am Dank Fark, the pirate, poet, Be sure to check out my campaign, the poem Peace on Earth Movement and the Peaceful Mother Lover Challenge, where we make peace on earth by making peace signs on the earth, a symbolic poem of energetic activation where we send our love into the planet to activate positive vibes all across this globe. Join me. Contribute $1. Go to Dankfart on Venmo, DANK-PHART, PayPal, dankfart@gmail.com. 33% of every dollar goes to organizations to support a brighter future upon our planet through permaculture, regenerative culture, psychedelics, and plant medicine. Together we can thrive. Whoop, whoop. Be sure to check me out up on YouTube, on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Patreon, all under Dankfart, DANKPHART. Be sure to comment, subscribe, do all the things. We love you. Thank you for being here with me. Much appreciated. Peace out. Many blessings.